Hey guys, thank you for checking out the video. This is Bobby here. Today we're going to be looking at this 27-year-old truck that I got for essentially free. It was gifted to me. We're going to take a look at it, look over it a bit, and we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to explain to you guys why I actually decided to go ahead and get this vehicle rather than buying a new truck. So let's jump right into it. So it's going to be a 1997 Suburban K2500. It's based on the GMT 400 platform, pretty famous, you know. Ran from 88 to 2000. Probably one of the most iconic, famous trucks out there as far as longevity, styling, being ahead of its time, and a lot of ways. For a 30-year-old truck, a 35, 40-year-old truck, it's very ahead of its time. That's why we actually have 3 of these trucks. This is the 3rd one we decided to get. So the backstory is it was the truck that belonged to a friend of my mom's. She needed it as something to tow her boat up in New Hampshire, actually. And it was good for a lot of years. And she didn't drive it very much. It had a couple of issues. The AC stopped working, a leak on the transmission cooler line. But other than that, it starts right up. It's strong. It's got the 7.4, the 454 big block in it. It's 4x4, yeah. K2500, that means it's 4x4, 8-lug axle, beefed up. It's got the 4L80 transmission versus the 4L60 that's a little bit weaker. It comes in the 1500 version of the truck. With that being said, let's take a look. Let me explain to you guys why I've actually bought this instead of buying a new truck and why I'm stoked about it, to be honest. Alright, so getting into the first reason why I bought this truck in the first place is going to be the reliability and the ease of working on it. Go pop the hood real quick. So, in here, this is actually the bigger engine of the 3 options that came. The biggest one, 7.4 liter Vortec. Puts out, I think, 290 horsepower. I think somewhere around 400 torque, which even by today's standards, that's awesome. Despite being huge, gets like 10 miles to a gallon, which, I mean, you know, for a work truck that's hauling stuff, that's about typical. Anything common that might need replacing, like AC compressor right there, easy. Alternator right here, air filter, battery, mass airflow sensor right on top, brake master cylinder. All this stuff very easy. I've replaced it on my other truck. The power steering pump's right down there. The reason why this is better than a newer truck is there's just less components going on, and that means less stuff that can break. You know, it's the simplicity of it. For example, the electrical, the fuse box, look how small this is. There ain't much to it. Compared to a new car, even cars that are a little bit newer than this. So there's not much that can really go wrong. A fuse box on a new truck, it's probably triple, if not quadruple the size. Basically what I'm trying to get at is there's less components on this truck compared to something of today's age that can break and go wrong, making it more reliable, definitely easier to work on, cheaper to repair. That's a big thing too. Which is why if you're, a teenage kid, something like this, they're very safe, they're very fun. Like I just said, this engine, it really can hold up as far as power output to trucks of today. Alright, going into the second big factor really is just the practicality of something like this. Coming inside here, this is common for trucks of this age. This is the window switch, got to fix that. Nothing that can't be fixed pretty easily though, even if you're not crazy mechanically inclined. And luckily this truck, the dash is in good shape, it just needs a good detail, which we plan to do in a video. For example, on this truck, the AC isn't working, it needs brakes. Anyone who's willing, capable, you got YouTube, man, you can learn, you can look up the specific truck and the procedure on how to repair it yourself. Another thing to note, which is cool if, you're a teenager, young kid trying to get his first car. We got the seats folded down right now, but this truck, you can comfortably sit 8 people. You got a 3rd row seat in the back. So let me pop the rear hatch, and we got some tires from my other truck, door pan, a couple other things. Carpet needs a good detail, maybe even needs to be replaced. If you're 6'7" and 300 pounds, you could go camping in this thing, set up an air mattress, whatever you got, and go camping, go sleep comfortably in this thing, not a problem. You can ride up front comfortably. All of your friends, no matter how big or tall, they can ride in this thing comfortably. That's like the great thing about it. It's like nothing worse than like riding in a cramped back seat with your friends, especially on like a trip, whereas this, just a big boat cruiser. And another thing to mention too is it is 4x4 K2500 Suburban. CK trucks, the C being two-wheel drive, K being four-wheel drive, but a little push button on the dash, which at the time was very ahead of its time. By today's standards, it's pretty standard. Yeah, so if you want to go off-roading with your friends, go overlanding, camping. And with that said, as far as off-roading or just having more fun with the truck, towing a boat with it, it can take a beating that like sometimes new trucks really can't. And for the price, it's like if you want to tow something or go off-roading, you have to worry about beating up and stressing out these new trucks, and with all the stuff that can go wrong, all the sensors, because you go off-roading, a little sensor gets wet in these $60,000 trucks, you might have to get towed home. And that's not to rip on new trucks. They're cool, they're safe, they're great, they get a good economy. This thing's a gas guzzler, and it's not very efficient to a new truck standards, but in my opinion, it's efficient enough, and that's why I ultimately bought it. And just throwing in one last reason why I bought it is the cool factor of it. Some people might not like it, but I know there's a big niche. It's an old truck, it's good styling. This platform, it's famous. You can lift it up, put big tires on it, 2500, 8 lug, make it look like an absolute beast truck. That's the cool factor in it, You can cut off the muffler, it could sound like a freaking NASCAR loud, huge engine, V8. It's got a very old school muscle car vibe to it. That's the beauty in this. That's the cool factor. Alright guys, and that pretty much wraps up the video. I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, those are pretty much all the reasons that I think you guys should invest in an older truck, regardless of your budget, versus a newer truck. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Stay tuned for more content on this truck. We're going to do a lot with it. We'll see what happens. Peace.
This is my channel, like you use. Out.